You never hear it. The story about the C-SPAN caller saying, I am a Republican and I am so outraged with Trump. I'm going to vote Democrat. Never happens. Seriously doesn't. I keep hearing these stories. And this is kind of an addendum to my main channel segment over at youtube.com/Timcast. Check it out if you haven't. I feel like there's one recurring theme. People are Democrats. They start doing some research. All of a sudden, they say, you know what? F this. They either leave the party or they outright become a Republican. Now, here's I got a couple stories for you. Lifelong Ohio Democrat. After night one of the convention, I'm voting Republican, he says. And he said that the issue was God. We also heard another story about a guy calling C-SPAN saying crime. And this is all very similar to another story where a 77-year-old Democrat says, I'm embarrassed to be a Democrat. What Nancy Pelosi is doing is embarrassing. Let's just read the story. And I'm going to end with something. Well, I'm not going to end with it, but I want to show you something that's wow. The redheaded libertarian on Twitter tweeted, my family fled communism twice, once from Spain, once from Cuba. My family is done abandoning what we rightfully earned. This anti-communism speech is something everyone should watch, political affiliations aside. Romanticized Marxism is an immediate threat to liberty. It's a speech by Maximo Alvarez at the RNC, talking about how Trump is fighting back against the forces of communism. It's hard to watch. You know why? This man is fighting back tears, thanking America for giving him freedom. I've been around the world. I've seen some of these countries. And every time I would go to a different one of these countries, I truly would understand just how great America is. And these people, they don't get it. But people are waking up. Check this out from Town Hall. Last week, it was Wine Fest with Democrats who held their convention with the overarching theme that they're pissed and it's Trump's fault. America is a racist nation. Voting Democratic will erase all of that. They truly think we're that stupid. On night one of the GOP convention, you heard remarks from ordinary people discussing the trials and tribulations associated with gun violence, healthcare, and owning small business. These weren't the celebrity elite. These were ordinary Americans. Night one kicked off by honoring America, highlighting the possibilities that come through hard work and determination. It should have made you proud to be an American. It wasn't a bash fest. For one lifelong Democrat in Ohio, Rick from Lorain, it was enough to switch parties. He declared on C-SPAN that after Monday night, he's voting Republican. One of the main reasons was the GOP's references to God. I was really touched by the number of times they used the word God. They put God into everything. And the people on the Democratic side acted like they were pushing God right out of it. You remember when Joe Biden said, go, you know, the thing? We're all created equally under go, you know, the thing we say. A lot of people like to pretend that's Joe Biden, or I'm sorry, a lot of people believe that's Joe Biden forgetting the words. No, he wasn't. He said, go, I can't say God. These are Democrats. So he didn't. Yes, the thing we say, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty, justice for all, that that God has bestowed upon us unalienable rights. You know the thing. Joe Biden couldn't say the words. I'm not religious. Well, actually, look, I do believe in God, but I'm not theistic. I don't believe in any of these organized religions. I'm not super concerned. I'm not really worried about having God be restored or balanced or anything like that. But I hear what this man is saying. And what he's saying is that the Democrats are wildly different to where they used to be. They're wildly different. They used to be Christian. Now they're not so much. I personally, I'm not really worried about that. But there are a lot of people who are. And if that's their issue, you're going to see a lot of these people who are religious, which is the bulk of this country, leaving the Democratic Party. When asked if he was a union worker, Rick said he wasn't. He was just a resident of Lorain, which is a Democratic stronghold. It went heavily for Clinton in 2016, yet back in January, it seemed that even union workers were lining up behind Trump. In this video, watch. An Ohio voter explains why President Trump will win Ohio again in 2020. These union workers at Jeep all support Trump. These people are mad with what the Democrats are doing, especially with impeachment. Oh, you know it. Hey, they play these games, man. This is a tweet I highlighted earlier. Ryan James Gerdusky, C-SPAN caller, a Democrat, just said he was switching his registration to Republican because he's concerned with crime. concerned about crime. The calls tonight have been heavily focused on crime and how Democrats are becoming increasingly radical. Take a look at this video from Elijah Schaffer. Shocking. Black Lives Matter and Antifa rioters brutally assaulted a 70-year-old man for trying to put out a fire in his mattress store. He received a broken jaw, a black eye, and multiple stitches. The remains of the building he tried to save, now rubble, can be seen in the background. A 70-year-old man was put in the hospital. And they try and say that Trump is desperate to earn the evangelical vote and that Trump is losing support among older voters. I hope older voters are paying attention now. I'm pretty sure we all saw the video. I don't know if you saw the video of this. I'm pretty sure he was running around with a fire extinguisher as looters were running in and out of the building. And when he started spraying the people, someone ran up behind him and bashed him over the back of the skull. This is a dystopian nightmare. And when the Republicans talk about it, when they talk about these people, the people who are suffering, the Democrats say they're lying to you. Lies, 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 lies. That's the email I got. I got an email. I get emails from progressive groups. I follow progressives. I follow Democrats. I follow Republicans. I follow conservatives. I get emails from political action groups. I get emails from Trump. See what they're talking about. And these progressive groups say, ignore it. It's not happening. Peaceful protesters in Donald Trump's secret police. And I have to watch this every morning when I wake up. And I get angrier and angrier and angrier when I see a video of a 70-year-old man desperate to put the fire out at his store, and someone runs up behind him and cracks him over the back of the skull, putting him in the hospital. I guess he's doing okay. Broken jaw, black eye, multiple stitches. I'm not sure if that's the same guy, and if it's not, help us. Heaven help us, man. But this video of the dude being cracked over the back of the skull is what nightmares are made of. This isn't the first time we've heard something like this. I got a couple things to show you. A user clip over on C-SPAN. I dug this one up. This is a hard story to find, to be honest. It's not too hard. February 7th. Unidentified speaker said, I've been a Democrat for 77 years. It was appalling to me. I found it very, the transcript is voice to text. It's not perfect. Disrespectful. He is still the president. I am changing my mind. I am never going for a Democrat again. I will probably stay home. I am very embarrassed for being a Democrat for what they did in the House with Pelosi and the rest of them. They seem like a bunch of idiots sitting there. The 17,000 families in this country of our family name, we will be, it's hard to get the full, transcripts. We'll all get together again and boycott the Democratic Party. That's how I feel. I am fixing to hang up on you. Bye. Wasn't the only person. He wasn't the only person who came out and said that lifelong Democrat. I'll tell you what, man. The RNC was not perfect. There were some cringy moments. They're trying to rally everybody. I get it. But I'm so far removed from caring about the GOP. I don't care about Republicans. I don't like Republicans. I mean the politicians, not the voters. Most of the politicians, I think, are awful. Democrats, too. It's all the same to me. But Trump is driving out the way I see, I imagine in my head, these grifters, for lack of a better word. That's what these Republicans and Democrats have always been. And I sit back. I never cared about Republicans. They don't do anything. But the Democrats have gone insane, supporting this extremism, defending the riots. There's no excuse for it. The moment I see an old man desperate to put out a fire getting cracked over the back of the head is the moment I say, you either stand up against this or you get the F out of my face. The Democrats want to lie nonstop. It's one thing when they're throwing fireworks at buildings. It's one thing when young people are fighting with cops. I don't like that either. It's another thing when I watch a video of a guy run up, swing, and crack an old man over the head. And the Democrats want to say peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. Get out of my face. I'm done hearing it. I see what these people are doing. I see the violence. I see what these people on C-SPAN speaking up saying enough. And I hear you because I feel the same way. I see this video of Maximo Alvarez. Man, this video is tough to watch. Brings a tear to your eye. He tells a story of people clinging to rafts, desperate to flee communism in Cuba. A lot of people in South America, a lot of these refugees, doing the exact same thing. These countries falling to the far left, Venezuela especially. And interestingly, while the left will claim that Trump is evil for saying we can't take all these asylum seekers, you have Maximo Alvarez himself, someone who fled communism with his family, thanking Donald Trump for everything he's doing. We want to help asylum seekers. I certainly do. I want to help people like Maximo. We got to do it to the best of our abilities. We can't save everybody. Maximo says this is the greatest country on the planet, and it nearly brings a tear to your eye thinking about the horrifying conditions so many people would flee to come here. And you know what really gets to me? Yeah, I want to help them all. And I know that it's not possible, but we can do better. We can do our best. And that's what we should be doing. I'm not a gung-ho Trump supporter. I'm not a conservative. And there are certain things that Trump is for that I'm not, I think go too far. I do. I'm not super excited about some of the criminal justice stuff that they're pushing forward. I like criminal justice reform. I want to help asylum seekers. But I get what's happening. I can see what's happening. And that's why at this point I say I defer. That's what I say. Lifelong liberal, further left when I was younger. And now I'm just like, you know what? With all this chaos, I defer to Maximo Alvarez, a man nearly brought to tears telling the story of how he fled communism. He knows better than I do when it comes to asylum seekers. When it comes to this violence, when it comes to people being bashed over that, old men dropped to the ground, broken jaw. I'm not having any of that. So they earned it. The Democrats earned it. It's not about God for me or anything like that. It's about making sure that an old man who wants to sell a mattress can do so in peace. It's so that asylum seekers like Maximo can live in this country they fought so hard to get to. I think we're going to see a lot of people. It's going to be a shock when they see the results of this election, but I don't know for sure. Don't get complacent. I got a couple more segments coming up in a few minutes. Stick around, and I will see you all shortly.